Well, this is a wonderful group. So what I'm going to do is, first I want to again thank SVC and ASBC for organizing this and doing all the heavy lifting, and really just we had this chance with GoodCarts. Like the motivation was like we have a lot of sort of half of them are like within less than 3 years old. These startup, very impact-oriented brands basically have bought into this idea that they can grow together, right? And that we can share and recycle our post-checkout traffic. And so this is a great chance just to kind of show you what we got going on. So let me share my screen. What I want to do is just kind of give you like what the heck is GoodCarts, and I'll just do a kind of a speed version. We do have a recording online at goodcarts.co/demo, sort of the 5-minute version of the first half of this. So when we talk to a lot of brands, you know, they're talking a lot about is how their ad costs keep going up and up. Facebook has like 10 million advertisers now, where like 3-4 years ago it was 5 million. So particularly when you're trying to reach conscious consumers, essentially we're bidding against each other, and more of the margin for impact is actually going to the digital behemoths, right? The Google, Facebook, Amazon. The second problem that we see out there is brand discovery. There are literally, you know, every day there's a new sort of sustainably impact-oriented brand that's launching. There's obviously a lot of established brands in the space, and it's getting kind of noisy. So how do you get discovered when there's so many new competing options in this space? And so our general philosophy with GoodCarts is that we call it grow together, win together. And we're starting that with cross promotion via e-commerce. So conceptually, we have 120 stores right now in our Shop for Good circle, and that is, you know, a member store here. And then our technology inserts a little box into their store receipt, and I'll show that in a second. And they get invited to look at discounts. So we do have other circles. We do have a Made in USA circle. We have other circles emerging. We actually have a founders circle for what we call everyday small businesses to sort of celebrate small business entrepreneurship. There are certainly businesses that we exclude from that, depending on what they sell. But here's a demo on the Good Circle. So essentially, imagine you're at a store. You put that T-shirt in your cart. You go to the checkout. You push Pay Now. Okay, this is where GoodCarts starts. So you push Pay Now. Our technology inserts in the banner a little thank you banner, where it says thanks for offering you exclusive discounts of your choice from other sustainable stores. So if you're a store, you're like, oh, well, I always want the words I want to use. So you can customize the words. You can change the color of the button to match your branding. You can change the text on the button. But we don't record this, but so I can't tell you the exact click-through rate, but it's incredibly high because often, particularly with most e-commerce systems, the receipts are very vanilla. There's nothing other to do than glance at it and close the tab. Yes, Amazon will try to upsell you, and more stores will with like more products you can buy from them. In this case, we're going to take that traffic and people click through on that button. And I'm be glad to tell you offline the numbers. So this is a brand discovery moment, right? So actually, I'll show you real quick, just kind of how it actually looks in real life. And then essentially, each time it's random currently, although the stores that send us the most traffic, like say Dean's Beans, they're going to be at the top when you exit other stores. We're going to be adding categories and coupon matching in a search box. But right now there's like over 100 really interesting discounts where you can get introduced to a new brand. And so I'll just pick one. I'll scroll down a little bit just to give you a little flavor. So Empowered, one of our heroes, right? So they're part of today. And so you put in your email address to claim. You can see there's a little more text here. So like if you're a store, like having a really good image is really key. And then you can basically talk more about your impact here, but ultimately people are looking for products. And so your product leads. That's the way you go in. And then that's how simple GoodCarts is. It really is that quick chance to come on in, discover a new brand, and then go do your shopping. So for example, if you would have collected Women's Bean Project, that will get you there. So another way we explain our technology is sort of smart digital coupons on the back of the receipt. It's free for stores to join. Coupon views are free. Web visitors are free. And with COVID, we actually dropped our commission model. So Chris Dykstra, our founder, who's also a big SVC advocate and a longtime participant. He said, you know what, let's figure out another way to do this, right? So we're kind of this inflection point. We're actually adding some new bonus features like a featured coupon where you could be at the top for a certain time frame, bonus distribution through other circles. It's pretty exciting for us business model wise. Ultimately, there could be different opportunities in different circles. So right now, like I said, we actually have 120 stores in our Shop for Good network. We have 7 in our Made in USA network, which is brand new. And one of our kind of emerging allies is 1 Million Black Businesses, a project of Operation Hope that Shopify has funded. And so we're going to be presenting a webinar to them, and we're getting ready to explore both a Black-owned circle and a BIPOC-owned circle, and let the founders choose where they would like to be most. The idea of circles actually came from the vegan community because some of them said, well, all the coupons have to be vegan. And I thought, well, let's figure out a way to make that happen. And one of the sponsors, one of the partners that helped was the Better Business Bureau has a BBB for Good. And we've been having some chats with them and others about, hey, are there ways to work with you and other partners to bring in people that are part of your network, or the Fair Trade Federation, where they're very interested in a dedicated circle of fair trade verified brands. And so that's one of the ways that we're kind of innovating, if you will, on top of our initial Shop for Good space. And then quickly, this is like how quickly you can actually sign up. Now we're on Shopify, but we're also have a WooCommerce plugin coming, and then basically any e-commerce platform that can put a little JavaScript, a little piece of code in the receipt can join. And so pretty much that means any e-commerce site where you have your own domain name. So not Etsy, not Amazon, not eBay, but pretty much everything else. Stores come in, they select their circle. So like I mentioned, we're going to have more circles in there. They create their coupon. Again, having a great image really matters. You decide your own discount value. You get to choose how long the coupon lasts for. Basically, they get an email reminder at day 6 or day 9 or whatever it might be. And then we have 95% retention in our Shop for Good circle. Most of them set no end date. It is a bit of a set it and forget it. Although we do have some stores that only have discounts for their clearance rack. Some of them are wholesalers where they can't undercut their brick and mortar partners, right? So they just focus on their clearance, which is a great way to use the network. And then finally, that's it, right? You can do some optional things like customize your banner. And then for the business-minded folks, you'd be saying, we sell fair trade coffee. Maybe we don't want to subsidize our direct competitors. So we do have a feature called the block list where you can choose, okay, I'd rather not share traffic with someone who's a direct competitor. And down the road, imagine this with 1,000 members, with 10,000 members, we will know the categories that businesses sell in. And so it'd be like, we sell beverages, therefore we're not going to advertise other beverages to our post-checkout traffic. So that's some important feature for those that obviously are sharing, but want to be careful. So that is like the quick demo of GoodCarts, and you can go here to our goodcarts.co, and we have links to everything from here. So with that, I'm going to just basically stop talking at you and answer any questions you might have about it while I just leave these links up on the screen for a moment. So go ahead. Who has any questions? Or testimonials if you're members.
How many members do you have?
I have a quick.
Oh, great. Okay, so quickly, we have 120 members right now in our Shop for Good circle. We also have 150 or so in our small business circle. We've been purpose-driven from the get-go, and I can tell you the purpose-driven space has far, far more traffic than a lot of the small businesses that join with little traffic, but are looking for free traffic. So that's notable that purpose really is driving this.
When is WooCommerce coming online?
WooCommerce, like in the next 2-3 weeks, we're just going to be submitting next week the app for approval for the plugin, to WooCommerce. So we'd love to have some new testers on that one, actually. So now's a great time to say you're interested.
Stephen, I love what you're doing, and I'm very attracted by these plug-in kinds of businesses that are doing so much good like you are. Have you thought about, as one of the channel distribution partners, to partner with one of the plugin providers that provides carbon offsets for the transactions that are going on?
So that's a great question, and I don't know if, I'm not sure if Chrissy with Collectify is still here, but they are sort of like an app strategist, if you will, helping us with SEO and partnerships. And so we've identified a bunch of like make the world a better place e-commerce apps. I sort of my working title is like the e-commerce league for justice or something, but just folks that are really trying to build into the technology, whether it be carbon offsetting, plant a tree, percent to charity. There's a bunch of us out there. And so, yeah, so like we can do content exchanges. We can do webinars together, all kinds of different things. I should also mention business-wise for us, we also are exploring what we call partnership programs, where we might, for example, offer some sort of a revenue incentive or a little share if someone brings us new stores or generates revenue with us, and vice versa. Like, so we're like also trying to map out the world for like, if our audience comes to use XYZ tool, whether it be an impact-oriented tool or just a really effective tool. Like I've been looking at an AI boosted Facebook ad manager and basically trying to get one of our stores to be like a pilot to see how it works, to see, how trusted the company is, if you will. And then, they have a revenue strategy, a sharing plan. And so we'd love to like go even deeper than just like, promoting each other.
Very cool. Good luck, man.
Thanks. Yes, Joseph.
So just, I'm looking for WooCommerce in a few weeks. I think that's great. Is there a upfront cost to sign up? Like, how does it actually work from our side?
Yeah, so we have like an FAQ question. Is this too good to be true? Right. So it's free. And one of the reasons it's free, particularly for the impact retailers, that long-term commitment there, is that we're powered by our members, right? So we get a ton of traffic, all of our traffic from the stores themselves, right? So the way it'll cost more. So for example, if you want to do a featured discount where you want to be on top for a certain period, we're also getting ready to launch an email newsletter. It's calling working title is the good deal. And that will have some featured discounts as well. And that would be a pay to play kind of extra publicity. The other piece is the traffic between networks. So let's just say you pick your primary circle, it's made in USA. That could be one example, but you also want to reach the sustainable world. We have only a certain percentage that will actually claim a discount. As they're beginning to leave, we have ideas around inviting people. Didn't find what you wanted here, why not try, Black-owned businesses, or why not try Made in USA? And in that case, the stores in those circles would opt in to get that extra traffic, and there might be a fee associated. But we are in that early stages. I'd love to talk to people about, about opportunities like that, that would help us obviously make sure that the long-term sustainability is there. But the reality is, since we're powered by our members, that is incredibly valuable traffic. As I say to our stores, I say, are you interested in reaching conscious consumers in a buying mood with their credit cards still out? Right? That's a pretty good audience.
Well, quickly, I just have to say, yes, I'm interested.
Great.
Thank you. Cool.
Yes, Stephen, it sounds wonderful. For BioCash, as soon as we are in the United States, we will contact you to put our cash in your GoodCarts, because it's right the channel that we are looking for.
You sell across Europe, is that right, or do you sell globally?
To be true, we are not selling yet. We are starting the factory, okay. But our target is mostly United States and conscious consumer.
Okay, great to know. I can say that we are getting ready to do like some sort of like a little info session with some of our UK interested brands to get their advice on how to better launch in the UK. We need about 10 to 20 brands to like have critical mass. So there's enough like coupons there, if you will, to make it work. And so we're pretty excited about that. And then obviously Europe as well. The issue obviously is like what currency symbol, and just dealing with making sure that the customers see coupons that are in their shipping zone, right? So we need to do a good job with that technology around that. But in the long run, as long as we know kind of where you're shipped to and where you're based, and then where the customer is, we can do that matchmaking. And I'd love to have a buy local or a shop local filter. So you could even just find the discounts in your region, maybe where you could even pick up the products, right? And or become a first-time customer online, but then come to use them, at their store.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, Isaac, I think we're getting close to the end of our bewitching hour, if you will. I'd love to take a one or two more questions if there are any, and then we'll move on. Yes.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. I may have missed it, but what is your current user base volume-wise?
Sure.
And go ahead.
Yeah, so we have 120 members in our network. You know, from the store that started 3 months ago and it has one sale a week to stores that have, you know, one sale an hour. Our whole strategy has been around, as Chris Dykstra will tell you, eating our way up the long tail. So we're really open to startups and early stage purpose-driven brands in our network. And so, you know, just to kind of get the ball rolling, if you will. But we certainly look to have larger and larger folks. We are also plotting to launch sort of a premium D2C circle, which would be, there'd be a bit of a criteria there where you need to, we haven't sorted it out, but it's either you've had your 1,000th sale or you have some sort of a parameter that will get you in with sort of stores that are maybe at your peer. And that might not have a total sustainability focus, but we certainly look to infuse that throughout. So is that helpful? Any follow-up questions on scale or size?
No, I guess my only other question, you did mention that you guys, it's a free service. So I just want to clarify, when it comes to any sales that would come from, let's say, our business, is there a portion of that that goes into your organization's pocket, which I'm totally cool with, by the way.
Yeah, we had stores that say, "Are you sure you don't want to have at least some commission? You know, because we don't want you to go away." And so, I mean, the reality is this: like our model might, and I'm just be blunt, right? So we have made a commitment at this point for a free service based on what you give to the network. Meaning, if you generate redemptions and you get redemptions back, that's kind of like the baseline. But it could be that there may be some folks that like are big winners that are basically get more than they give. So that would be one area, for example, where we might explore a fee. The key is like, we're trying to basically change the nature of advertising and not have everybody bid against each other and not basically extract as much as value as we can to get exposure. We want to figure out alternative ways. Like I mentioned, like introducing to you to great e-commerce tools that then we end up getting a cut because you use them because we created a great lead. One other thing I just want to mention, I'll take you, Gage, next here, I was really inspired by a lot of the impact investing small group breakouts and some of the conversations about, showcases and the like. And so I thought a lot about like, are there ways that we can help our members win and get in, potentially do some matchmaking with the impact investing world? It's sensitive, but we understand from how our system works, kind of what brands month over month are ascendant. So we would have the ability to sort of help flag businesses and say, and basically ask them proactively, hey, would you be interested in being introduced to this impact investor who's basically said they're interested in your kind of company? We wouldn't be able to disclose it until we got permission, but it may be the big way that we win is have some creative relationships with the impact investing world, who's really trying to say, where can we find some early stage opportunities in retail? And that may be one of the models that emerges. So trying to plant that seed. I'm pretty excited about exploring the idea, at least with the SVC community. All right, so we had a hand up a moment ago. What screen are you on? Go ahead if you have one more question. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how do we sign up or line up for WooCommerce? Do we just send you folks an email or?
Yeah, so if you just go to goodcarts.co/join, you could fill that out today and then select WooCommerce. It'll invite you to create an account, but don't do that yet. I'll just see that come through. And then honestly, I'll invite you to be one of our testers when we get the new plugin up past WordPress. And so we don't know whether they'll adopt it right away, whether they'll say fix these things. So I can't promise you that it's going to be in 2 weeks, but let's do that. And we'd love to get your feedback on how it worked for you so that we make sure it works for everybody.
Thanks.
I should also say I do have a newsletter called Impact Retail. So as things cross my radar, I do lots of tagging of news stories and podcasts and events. And about once a week or so, I put out a little digest of news and highlights in this space. And so if you just Google Impact Retail Newsletter, or go to goodcarts.co/impact-retail. You can find the newsletter, and that's a great way to stay in touch as well with the things that are with our community, if you will, things that are crossing our radar. Particularly if you're like an agency that likes to serve impact businesses, that will be a great place if you don't have a store to land. And it's in the chat. Thank you, Bailey. I should mention, we do a lot of work with the Impact Hub. So Bailey works for the Impact Hub here in Minneapolis, and so we're big fans. And Bailey does work about 10 hours a week with GoodCarts. And so we've figured out how to tap that network, and are obviously very interested in how we continue to tap any kind of network, from Social Enterprise Alliance, the Fair Trade Federation, and figure out ways to collaborate with impact loving networks.